Welcome to Comfort Havoc number 2. This is part 2 of I Am Part of This Problem. So, as I left off, I told the guy who responded to my comment that I'm part Cherokee. I don't like being called chief, because when I actually started exploring my heritage, because I'm multicultural, I once worked at a bowling alley. Mostly there were very few people of color there unless they were working or unless they had white friends that talked them into coming bowling. Because you know how things work when you have friends of different ethnicities. You do something that they do something that you like. Bingo, bango, friendship's cool. Let's go do shit that we both like together. Or maybe what I like, you can learn to like. It happens. That's how relationships also happen. So, when I was working at Kegler's, this white guy, who clearly was going through some shit, called me called me chief for 3 years. Now, at the time of this, the Renegades movie came out with Lou Diamond Phillips and Kiefer Sutherland, and my dreams of being a cop was the only thing I thought of. And this guy wouldn't stop calling me chief. Does that make him a racist, or does it make him saying racist statements? It doesn't really make him a racist, but it does make him say racist statements. That it started becoming more racist when I politely asked you the first time to please call me by my name. My name is not Chief. I am not the chief of a tribe. I will never be the chief of a tribe. I do not come from royal blood. And to quote the racist Native American who told me I wasn't pure blood, there you go. So it started becoming racist feeling to me for 3 years to have this white guy come to me every day that I'm at work and say, "What's up, Chief? How you doing, Chief? What's going on, Chief? Hey, Chief, what's going on today? Or is there going to be free beer in there tonight, Chief?" Here I am, 16, 17, 18. I don't drink beer. How the fuck am I supposed to know? I'm not even allowed to touch the bar, other than get the ashtrays off the damn thing and wash them. So, when we go back to what we just watched in the other video, and you can go back and watch it, and you can go find out on Weber, because he's, again, also part of the problem, we are feeding into this racist clusterfuck. Understand that. We are feeding into this racist clusterfuck. I admit I don't like Trump. I admit that shit in damn near every political video I've made. I'm not a Trump fan. I explained why, and I'll do it again right now. Alright? If you're voting for Trump, I have nothing against you. I have absolutely positively nothing against you because you have that right to vote. My dog tags is real. Every soldier that's ever put on a pair of dog tags is for you to have the right to do what the hell you want in this country. That includes all of my uncles and every other soldier that is currently serving that I went in with. This is not a fucking joke. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to hurt some feelings, and specifically feelings of blacks and Asians who are voting for Trump, and Mexicans. Let me throw y'all back some, because this very well may be 5 videos long. Let me throw y'all back to how bad he treats immigrants, specifically Mexicans, or Hispanic, or blacks. Let me throw y'all back to how he made some racist statements about Mexicans all being rapists that come across the border. Now, he might not have meant it in that way, but that's exactly what the fuck he said. It's like, yeah, we keep letting all these Mexican rapists and murderers up in here. Okay, so I guess blacks, whites, and Asians don't commit murders and rapes. If that's how you feel, how wrong would you be? Everybody of every ethnicity has somebody in their ethnicity that has created genocide. Period. Without question. There has been genocide from every race on this planet. And since there's basically only 3 main races on this planet, so let me give you guys your history lesson. You have Caucasoid, that would be white people. Negroid, that would be black people. And Mongoloid, that would be Asian people. So we all fall into those categories, unless you're like me, who falls in all 3. Because my heritage is Cherokee Indian, black, and white American. So basically, my African ties died the 2nd generation of slaves here. Alright, I'm never going to Africa. I could care 2 shits about my African tie. I go by black. I am not African American. I go by black. Alright? My white ties, they're still around. We still have white people in our family. We have white family members that we have not met. They may not claim us, but we do know they exist. Alright? And most of the white people in our family do claim us. And happy out there, roses. Anyway, and that's only on my mom's side. My dad's side only has Native American and black side. So, Therefore, my mom has all three sides. She has Native American, black, and white. Her dad's dad was either black or white. Her mom is half Native American and black, or all Native American, but because she was adopted and raised by black, we only know black. So therefore, most of the family just goes by black. Now, up until it becomes an issue where someone says, Mr. Williams, are you sure you're black? And I'll look at them and say, yeah, my birth certificate says black. Well, you don't look black. You look like you could be a Mexican or a Filipino or of some Asian ethnicity. Well, to be honest, up until my friend from college told me that Native Americans were Asian, I just didn't think about it. No, I was like, oh, well, I always thought Native Americans were from Atlantis. I know that's not here or there. But the point of the matter is that I am multicultural, and that these guys are, let me put it to you this way. In a word of black people that I hate using, but I'm going to use it. Those guys in the video arguing with the light-skinned man who may either have been black or mixed, they were tokens. And they feed the problem. Just like I'm feeding the problem with these videos. I am feeding this problem. I'm not defeating the problem, I'm feeding the problem. Because the more of these videos that I make that go against Trump, actually probably helps Trump. Alright? And that's part of the problem. If you're trying to fight something that you condemn, be careful at how you fight, because your condemnation could actually be fuel for the excitation. Let me put that in English. I'm throwing gasoline on an already lit fire that could burn back on me with the shift of the wind. Now, I got no need to protect Trump. Not in any case whatsoever. I'm no longer in the army, so I don't have to serve this fucker. But I will tell you this, alright? When you have other people who have worked with him, namely Omarosa, who outwardly admitted that she heard him say the N-word on more than one occasion. Now, I can't say nothing about Kwame, but Omarosa herself has said that she heard him use the N-word, and all these black cats are flocking to this man. Like they didn't hear her say that it's Omarosa. Because of who she is, we don't want to believe nothing that comes out of her mouth. Well, here's that thing about there's three sides to every coin. There's your side, my side, and the truth, which is a combo of the two. Now, I got nothing to gain with Trump. Nothing. No. Because he won't even know that I'm mixed. He'll probably look at me like, oh, this guy might be a Mexican. Or like many other people who are white. Like, I don't want to offend you, but what are you mixed with? It's not offensive to ask me. Because I've been dealing with this shit for 47 years, and if I'm lucky, I'll be dealing with it with 40 fucking more. No, only God knows how my story is going to end. Hopefully it'll be a happy ending with my crush. But anyway, here's that thing. Alright? For however many people like Donald Trump that are of color, who are running around like this, target straight ahead, I had a talk with a guy at work today about how people have put their kids in danger by being a Trump supporter and taking their kids to Trump rallies. And I'm against that. Now, I don't give a damn who you vote for. But don't put your kids involved in your politics. Don't tell them who you're voting for so that they don't have to go home and lie to their friends at school, excuse me. So they don't have to go to school and lie to their friends so that their friends don't try to beat them up because their friends' parents are not supporting the person that you're supporting. I watched the video and I had this kid on my screen and I'm looking at him, and he's a black kid. He's a decent looking kid. You know, he doesn't have any anything specifically wrong with him. You know, he looks like a normal ass kid to me. But he wrote a letter about how he was being bullied at school, and I, who have been bullied at school, can relate. But I was never bullied in school about politics because what the fuck is politics? But this is a whole different generation. And he's been bullied at school because his parents are bloody Trump supporters. And Trump is on the news right now. Apparently he's going to be leaving the hospital. Yay. Anyway, you know, Trump has said some horrible, horrible, horrible shit. And mostly directed at Native Americans. Pocahontas. in front of code talkers or wind talkers. And at the debate, y'all may have missed it when he said you and Pocahontas would have something. And I was like, no, what he said was, if Pocahontas hadn't left early, no one would have voted for you. And he might be right, because to be honest, I was all in for Elizabeth Warren. All in. And just because she has 1/16% of Native American blood, which is more than most people have in politics to begin with, it would have been an honor for me to have voted for Elizabeth Warren because I'm part Cherokee. And having her get into that office as the head commander-in-chief, a woman even with only 1/16% Native American blood, is a score for Native Americans, period. Because then she can look more into Native American issues, like that bullshit that went down at Standing Rock. Oh, I forgot. You guys didn't hear about that, right? Because here's what he said to the Standing Rock Indians. I have no standing with the pipeline that's coming through Standing Rock, and if I become president, I'm not going to let them come through. Which, by the way, as Obama was going out, the first thing he did on his way out, he said, my last decree as president of the United States is I'm going to protect Standing Rock. Let me sign over so this pipeline can't go through. Day one, first day, Donald Trump says, that decree is done. I'm rescinding this decree. Standing Rock pipeline's going through. But yet, months, weeks before, I have no standing with Standing Rock. They have proven our president to be a current bona fide motherfucking liar, but you guys running with shutters on. Oh, let's take it back. Let's take it back. Let's take it back to the DACA kids, who were mostly immigrants, some of Spanish and Mexican descent, and Indian and Muslim descent, and Indians with the dots, not the feathers. Oh, y'all got to get the fuck out. We're going to make sure that the DACA kids, the dreamers, they're getting the fuck out. Even though they're going to be sending them back to countries where they have no family, where people would probably kill them on sight because they've been raised and influenced by America. But our president didn't take that fact that they're just fucking kids into factor. He wouldn't want nobody to do that to his youngest child. And I've come up here and I've defended Tiffany Trump because she can't help who her parents is. And I think that all kids are not political game. I don't give a damn if your kid's dead. I don't give a damn if your kid's alive, well, and whatever problems they have. Your kids are not political game. If I'm running for president, the last damn thing I'm going to do is throw your kid's alcohol problem, your kid's military discharge problem. I'm not going to do anything that has something to do with your kids. And respectfully, I would hope that you would be the same and be like, yeah, Mr. Williams is a good father, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be the guy that's going to attack your kids. But our president went right after Joe Biden's kids and white supremacy. And in turn, Biden really didn't stand much of a chance, but he kept his cool. Again, I would like y'all to know that I did vote for Biden only because when I voted for Warren, I lost. Simple as that. I wasn't going to vote for Trump. And while we're on that, because of the tokens, I'm going to take you in a third video about these, the Central Park 7 or whatever the hell they're called, the kids that our president said if they raped her or whatever, they're guilty without the trial or whatever, that they should be hung or whatever. But apparently, y'all don't remember that. So, how good is this man that you can't remember any of his past sins? But I remember back in 1993, while everybody was worried about O.J. Simpson, our president, who wasn't the president at the time, was talking about casinos and how certain groups of Native Americans didn't look like Native Americans to him. Well, here's a tip, buddy. I don't look like a Native American to you either, because I'm wearing a G.I. Joe t-shirt and khaki pants. I'm also not a pureblood Native American. So, what does that mean? Oh yeah, also, Native Americans are biologically Asian. But yet, it's okay for you Asians who follow him and he's talking about the Kung flu or the China virus. But he's putting every Asian in danger because the Asian stereotype is that we all look alike. So, if we all look alike, but you're not Chinese, you're from Vietnam or Korea, but some yahoo who's out there who just hates Chinese people doesn't know the difference because he doesn't know that the Lee and the Ho and the Kim and the Chong and the Chang and Chow and Khan are all interchangeable Asian names. Except for Japanese. I don't know any Khans that are Japanese. However, I do know some Lees, They're not just Chinese, but they are also Korean. So it's not always a Nguyen, it's not always a Kim, it's not always a Chow or a Cho, because those also are Chinese and Korean last names. And all of these things happen during occupations of these countries, which is why people had to change their names from traditional Korean or Japanese names or Chinese names by whatever country was occupying them in whatever war they were in at the time. But people don't see that. So when I get to the third video, which I'm about to do now, because this is 15 minutes and some change that you can't get back, I want you to ask yourself a question. Am I following this because it's the trend? Or am I following this because I truly believe what this asshole is saying? And I did say that. Thanks for watching.